In rainy Baltimore, the teams are coming back on the field. The Browns pretty much dominated the first half, although the Colts did start to pick up some extra playing time. The time of possession, so important in a ball game, but the Browns even dominated that. But the statistics pretty well tell the story, Carl.
Well, yes, they do. The statistics are very uneven here, with the Browns having the ball almost 2-1 over the Baltimore Colts.
And 282 yards total offense versus the Colts 148 yards. And of course the Colts need a big comeback in the second half. But looking at that Dallas Cowboy New York Giants score a moment ago, we know that teams with explosive firepower like Dallas and like Baltimore and Burt Jones can certainly make life very interesting for the Browns in the second half.
Well, it certainly can. You know, this is the time of year we're in the 10th game of the season, Merrill. These teams now are trying to line themselves up for playoffs. They're making the bids now. These games are very important. There's not the time to kind of fill your team out or where you're going. They're coming down to the end stretch, the last third of the season. Burt Jones is going to do everything he can to try to bring his team back in the game here and try to win this game. On the other hand, the Browns being ahead and being on top of their divisions, they can take a half a game lead here. If they certainly can hold that, it's going to mean a lot to them in their race for the playoff berth.
And so the Cleveland Browns, who are tied with the Houston Oilers for the Central Division lead, against the Baltimore Colts, who trail New England by 2. And a lot will depend on Burt Jones, of course, in the second half. Can he bring the Colts back? Cleveland has played an outstanding football game this afternoon, and very possibly could go on and dominate the game in the second half behind Brian Sipe, just as Sipe led the Browns in the first half. But that's Paul McDonald right now, the left-handed thrower out of USC, the rookie quarterback. Everybody's got the rain gear on. Not everybody. Mike McCormick finally put a jacket on, but that's all. Mike, I'll tell you, I've traveled a lot of very cold, rainy, snowy, icy days with Mike McCormick over the years. And Carl, I would imagine that you've experienced a few of those days down in the trenches.
Well, you bet I have. I'll tell you, those days up in Minnesota got awfully cold. Sometimes playing as cold as about 4 or 5 degrees above zero, though, but nothing quite as cold as that Green Bay-Dallas game championship of quite a few years ago.
So the Baltimore Colts will kick it away to start the second half. Steve Mickemeyer has that ball all teed up. Now he's going to reset it. Keith Wright, who normally handles the kick returns for the Cleveland Browns, is out of the game with a knee injury, and we are told will not be back. Dino Hall, one of the most exciting little players you'll see in the NFL, is back there for the Browns. So Mickemeyer is all set, and our second half from Baltimore is underway. Hall from the goal line. If they can find him, they might tackle him, and they do. They finally break him down on about the 20. And those yard markers are becoming less invisible, or less visible all the time. Donaldson made the tackle. So we'll do a little guessing as to where the ball is here in the second half. From the 20, we'll call it 1st and 10. But officially, we are now told from our sideline, it is the 22. The Cleveland Browns have Brian Sipe, the AFC's leading passer at quarterback. Dave Logan will be one wide receiver, 85. Reggie Rucker, the other wide receiver. Henry Shepard, 65, the left tackle. Cody Risen, 63, the right tackle. Joe DeLamalure, 64, the left guard. And Robert E. Jackson, 68, the right guard. Tom DeLeon is over the ball. Pruitt and Pruitt are the running backs. It's an easy one. The handoff is to Pruitt. Mike Pruitt is tackled by Ed Simonetti, the middle linebacker.
Well, Simonetti has been playing well today, but yet and still they've had a lot of success. Here he plugs a hole and tackles Mike Pruitt, who's a big back. And they're almost the same size, but Ed Simonetti wins the battle here.
And he lost about a yard.
Yes, he did.
Second down, 11. Brian Sipe calling his play. His receivers are split to each side. Sipe makes the swing, throws the screen to the other side. And Ozzie Newsome, the tight end, takes the ball to near the 30. Sander Schreiber, 54, makes the tackle. A tight end screen and a good fake by Brian Sipe.
I'll tell you, that's the first ball Ozzie Newsome has caught today, but he's a big part of their offense. And playing tight end, where you don't normally find the speed of a wide receiver. Not saying that Newsom has the speed of a wide receiver, but he certainly has the ability to get deep and to get in the open to catch the ball. And Sipe has not gone to him today, and I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't, but I can see why with all the other weapons that he has.
After a gain of 9, third down 2. The defensive front four, Ozdowski 71, Orvis 88, Barnes 63, Cook 72. Incomplete to Greg Pruitt, right over the line. The offensive line of Cleveland, I am just amazed the way they have been able to handle that Baltimore defensive front four today.
Oh, they're an experienced veteran line. Although they've got Jackson in there in place of injured Doug Deacon, they're the guys that have played together, and they work really well. Joe DeLamielleure has added a lot to their offensive line and adds the stability there, and they've been able to pick up Baltimore stunts, and they're kept them out of there so far.
Nesby Glasgow is back deep for Johnny Evans' punt. Maybe I should have said I'm amazed that the Brown offensive line has handled the Colt defense with the ease that they have, because it is an outstanding unit. Going for the block, Evans gets it away. Glasgow, fair catch call for, taken to the 34-yard line of the Baltimore Colts, and on comes the offensive unit for Baltimore. We have 13 minutes, 14 seconds to go in the third quarter. A 32-yard punt by Johnny Evans, and no return as the fair catch was called for by Glasgow. So Burt Jones, whatever bag of tricks that he has, bringing him onto the field right now, but we're going to have a timeout here in Baltimore, I believe, or are we? We are not. Thought we saw a signal for a timeout. We'll stay with it. Mendenhall over the ball. Burt Jones ready to put the ball in play. The tailback, and this is Curtis Dickey right up the middle for about 4. It'll be second down 6, and Bradley, 91, the nose tackle from Alcorn State, and Marshall Edwards, number 90, the defensive left end out of TCU, make the tackle for the Cleveland Browns. The Browns feel they can go all the way this year, and it looks like they have the weaponry to back that up, Carl.
Well, they certainly do. They're in a division with Pittsburgh, who's not having that great a year, but I'll tell you, this is one of the reasons why. When you talk about Brian Sipe and the Browns, you can equate Brian Sipe to Terry Bradshaw about the same stage when the Pittsburgh Steelers began to come into prominence.
Second down 7. That's Curtis Dickey trying to get to the outside, makes his cut, but he is knocked down. And Clarence Scott, 22, the strong safety out of Kansas State, makes the tackle. So Scott stayed right with the speedster. Not much on that one. It'll be third down 4 after a gain of a couple. Joe Washington 20, Don McCauley 23 are now in the backfield for the Baltimore Colts. So Dickey goes out and Franklin goes out.
Third and 4 at the 40.
Jeff Hart now at right tackle for Baltimore. George Coons is out of there. Wade Griffin, 69, the other tackle. The Browns blitz, and down goes Burt Jones at the 30-yard line. Mooring, the rookie linebacker, coming on with a blitz, and he was all over Burt Jones, who's been sacked for the 3rd time today.
Well, what happens here is he doesn't get picked up at all. And I'll tell you, there are a couple of cross signals here. He just comes in, sacks Burt Jones, just runs right in there, and nobody stops him. But the other thing is that maybe they could see the blitz coming. They moved up right before the ball was snapped. Somebody should have been looking for him to dump the ball off.
A long loss on the play. It is now a 4th down and 13. Punt is away by Mike Bragg, and Dino Hall will bring it back, breaking one tackle, getting across the 40. He's down to about the 42. And we've got a timeout now with 11:25 to go in the third quarter. Cleveland leading Baltimore by a score of 21-6.
Alcoa can't wait.
It's simple. A lighter car will use less gasoline. That's why designers and stylists in Detroit are using and considering more aluminum than ever before for hoods, doors, wheels, and over 24 other applications. Detroit is as interested in saving energy as you are. And strong, lightweight aluminum is part of the picture.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
What I know about my car could fit in the glove compartment. I just want someone to work on it I can trust.
My mechanics and I are professionals. We take pride in our work, and that builds trust.
I've always figured the best mechanics use quality parts.
If a part fails, it's my reputation that's damaged. So I use Napa brand parts. Lots of them are better than original parts.
For quality parts you can trust, look for the Napa sign. When the name is Napa, the standard is quality.
On NBC Sports World Invitational Track and Field from China, the intensity and incredible strength of women's powerlifting, and the legends of bowling, next Saturday.
Well, it looks like the Baltimore fans are getting rained on more ways than one here today, Merle.
They came prepared, though. The forecaster was correct. The Browns have sacked Jones 4 times after they finally stopped the Kansas City rush last week. 2 weeks ago, the Cardinals sacked Jones 12 times. Rucker in motion, 42-yard line, the line of scrimmage for sight. And the handoff to Charles White. Quite a good cut. Gets about 3 or 4. And coming up from the secondary, Nesby Glasgow, but it was Mike Barnes, 63, who made the tackle. That last punt was only a 35-yarder, and little Dino Hall brought it back 4, so the Browns came out of that punt with pretty good field position. They lead 21-6. We're in the third quarter. Played 4 minutes of this third quarter. Now raining and still raining, and probably will continue to rain for the rest of this ball game. The Browns send Logan wide to the left side and Rucker in the slot right. Second down, 8. Ooh, Bruce Laird coming up in front of Rucker and almost picked it up. Bruce Laird, a 9-year veteran from American International.
Bruce Laird's a tough guy too. I think he's really weapon. He's got the he's leading the backs in tackles. He comes up and he'll stick you.
He keeps that defensive unit together back there with his experience. Third down, 7, and Calvin Hill, 35, has come into the backfield for the Cleveland Browns. Kim Anderson has come in as the 5th defensive back for the Baltimore Colts. Let's see if sight goes to Hill. Nope, he's going to go to Logan. He hits him on the 39-yard line of the Colts for a first down. And he is dropped on the 38 by Larry Brazil, a gain of 17 yards.
Thing is that we talked about the defensive line and how it affects their footage here, but they're not even getting close to sight there. He just stands in there, he throws the ball almost at will. He's got great receivers, they're getting open, and he's able to complete some long passes.
So the Browns, who lead 21-6, 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, send Logan to the left, Rucker in the slot to the left, Ozzie Newsome, the tight end, sets right. Fake to the deep man, and Mike Pruitt, the fullback, hits to the 35, and a flag is dropped. He got 3, and Mike Ozdowski, the third-year man from Virginia, makes the tackle. Holding. So the Browns will go the other way for a little bit. The Colts have really had a tough time beating the Browns over the years. In fact, the last time they beat the Browns was in 1975 by a score of 21-7. Don McCauley scored 1 touchdown. Burt Jones passed for 2 in that one. Here are the penalties for the day. All right, Cal, it's all yours.
Holding, 6-4. Offense, first down.
Joe DeLamalure, who was nailed a couple of times last week against the Bears, gets hit for the first penalty, his first penalty today. The left guard used to be with the Bills. Logan is split to the left and Rucker to the right. Calvin Hill and Mike Pruitt are the setbacks. First and 20. Fake to Pruitt. Throw to Hill. Incomplete. The coverage by number 59, Mike Woods, the linebacker. Both these teams, with the weapons that they have, we've alluded to them before. Not just the wide receivers, but the running backs who can catch the football. And that gives a long afternoon for the linebackers.
Look at that. You see Brian Sipes gets frustrated there. He hasn't missed too many today. He's been really on target, but he's a real competitor there. That ball is just over Calvin Hill's head there a little bit, and Calvin Hill is a main target once he gets in the game. Brian likes to go to him.
Kidding Calvin Hill today. He has not carried the ball this year. Sam Martigliano said, you know, if I'd had you earlier, made a wide receiver out of you, you could have played until you were 50. Hill and Miller are the running backs. Ozzie Newsome, the tight end, coming across. And he is down to the 44. Bruce Laird, number 40, brings him down after a 7-yard pickup, but they still have a ways to go for the first down. Ozzie Newsome, the Wizard of Oz from Alabama. Bear Bryant says he is one of the best he has not only coached, but he's ever seen. And Bruce Laird has been a good one, too, for the Baltimore Colts.
Now, Bruce Laird there had to come across from the other side, and he followed Ozzie Newsome all the way across the field, which was a kind of a little cross-the-field pattern, what they call a slant pattern by the tight end. And that's covered good ground there for the defensive back.
Still long way to go. There it is. Third down, 13. The Colt defense trying to break through, and finally it's Mike Barnes who yanks him down on the 45-yard line. That is the first time that Sipe has gone down today. And Mike Barnes, the 8-year veteran from Miami, who leads the club, that's his 8th sack of the year. He leads the club in sacks. And Sipe says, "Yeah, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to. My line, they've held you guys out pretty good today." And indeed they have. But I guess you can't be perfect. Johnny Evans will kick it away on 4th down and 27. Nesby Glasgow is deep for Baltimore. Just missed the block. Beautiful kick by Evans. Glasgow at the 6, at the 10, at the 15, at the 17. And he is dropped by Dino Hall. Good punt by Johnny Evans. 50-yard kick and a 7-yard return. Cleveland leads 21-6, and we'll be back right after this.
In the new world of video recorders, nobody offers more performance features than this one. RCA Selectavision 650, maximum 6-hour recording time, an unsurpassed 14-day memory, and remote-controlled special effects like slow motion, picture search, and stop action. Nobody gives you more VCR than Selectavision 650. Let RCA turn your television into Selectavision.
For whatever you need, take the first step, the Bell System Yellow Pages.
For supplies to build this nursery, for all the furniture you see, I took the very first step.
For this wallpaper so nice and sweet, and wool to knit booties for her feet, we took the very first step.
The first step puts you steps ahead, saves time, money, energy. So let your fingers do the walking.
It's the very first step, the first step.
Saturday on a special Games People Play, it's the Grand Prix of tricycle racing, and a man attempts to break the world record speedboat jump. Saturday on NBC.
The Baltimore Colts will have the football, and yes, it is raining in Baltimore. All the rain gear is now out officially here at Memorial Stadium. 9 minutes, 11 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Colts have the ball, 1st and 10 on the 16. Franklin and Dickey are the running backs. Will he get a flag or not? Dickey plunging through the middle, going out to the 22. Franklin leaning forward, stopped his motion before the ball was snapped. Marshall Harris, number 90, made the tackle for the Cleveland Browns.
Well, the offensive backs and the wide receivers, they can make a move as long as they're set a second before the ball snaps. So that's why we don't have a flag there.
Gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 for the Colts. Ken Mendenhall, the veteran center from Oklahoma, 10-year man, anchors that offensive line, and let's see what Cleveland's going to do. They're going to bring on an extra defensive back. Look at big Cleveland Franklin banging his way for a 1st down, and he gets that ball out to about the 28-yard line. And it was Clay Matthews, 57, and Tom Darden, 27, who made the stop. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WKYC TV3, television home of the Browns.
Merle Herman and Carl Eller with you from rainy Baltimore. Sun was shining this morning. The clouds came on in the second quarter, started to rain before the half, and it is supposed to continue. It is 1st down for the Baltimore Colts at their own 29. They trailed 21-6. Jones slipping and sliding. Running. And going down sliding as Elvis Franks got a hold of his shirt or his shoulder pad and yanked him down after about 5. And Burt Jones was already making a slide, but Elvin Franks was going to make sure he didn't slide too far.
Well, I'll tell you, when we're spending as much time on the sidelines as Burt Jones has due to injuries, that's a very smart move. He's not about to take any chances, especially with his team behind now, almost 3 touchdowns. But he has to get his team back in there, so he's got to be in the game in order for them to do that.
The Browns are going to go to a 4-man front now. Marshall Harris, number 90, is out of the ball game. Bill Cower, 53, a linebacker, has moved in, and it's a slot left. Browns are just controlling the game on the ground as well as in the air, as Cleveland Franklin is brought down by Henry Bradley, 91, and Dick Ambrose, 52, after picking up enough for the first down. It is a first down at the 38-yard line.
I'm sure Jones is talking to those guys and tell them that they have to get something going to keep this momentum going. They're starting to drive way down their own part of the field. They've got a long way to go, but if they can contain the ball here and move, they may have another ball game.
21-6 Cleveland. Jones going to the far side. Roger Carr, his first reception of the day at midfield, and he is into Cleveland territory at the 48. Clinton Burrell, 49, takes him out of bounds after an 11-yard pickup by Roger Carr. Carr is just having a super year for the Baltimore Colts. In fact, he's kind of the Roger Carr of, well, the first 2 years he was over here. This is what he has done so far: 4 touchdowns, 617 yards going into this ball game. But he runs the patterns as well as anybody in the game.
He runs a great pattern. That was one of his favorite patterns there, going to the outside.
Curtis Dickey, little stutter stuff, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and did, I believe. Charlie Hall, 59, the left side linebacker, staying right with him. He might have picked up a half yard, maybe a yard. 6:06 left to go in the third quarter. Cleveland leading Baltimore 21-6.
Well, Dickey has the speed to get outside, but the footing is not really that great. He eludes a tackle here, jumping over. But what happens here is he doesn't have the feel in order to get that great cut that he probably would have had. He probably would have gotten a longer gain here.
Curtis Dickey, and you saw what he has done today. And what he is capable of doing, well, he's capable of taking it all away. Second down, 9. There he goes. Can he do it this time? Well, Curtis Dickey, he must have heard us talking about him. Clarence Scott, 22, on the tackle after a 21-yard pickup by Curtis Dickey.
Okay, we're talking about field position here, and you can't overemphasize the importance of having a good field, not only for the pass rush, but for the running backs. It's more important. He breaks open the middle, they get a good hole up there coming up, but he gets tackled here by Scott. But I think if it had been an open field, he may be able to elude that tackle, and it would have been another about a 50-some yard touchdown, which he had last week.
And let's give Robert Pratt, number 61, the left guard, some credit for opening that hole. First down at the 28. Flag down. Jones to Carr, incomplete. Coverage by linebacker Clay Matthews, number 57. The Baltimore Colts have mounted a pretty good drive here. Offside against Cleveland. So the Colts will pick up a 5er. Cleveland Browns jumped out to a 14-0 first quarter lead on a touchdown run by Charles White and a 39-yard Brian Sipe to Dave Logan pass.
Encroachment, number 77, defense, line up offside, first down.
Watch Lyle Alzado, 77, there he is.
Okay, what they mean by encroachment is, I mean, the defensive lineman has got his head or helmet over the line of scrimmage. There's a neutral zone there, the length of the football, which a defensive lineman cannot get himself into, and he gets in trouble there.
First and 5 on the Cleveland Brown 23, and we have play stop for a moment. Carl at 6'6", You sure you weren't encroaching a little bit when you were the Minnesota Vikings? What'd you do? Play 2 yards back?
As much as I could get away with, I'll tell you. But the defensive line has to get all of the ball. You don't want to give those offensive line any advantage because you're about a foot away. The quicker you can get to the offensive line, the better it is. And now with the footing out there, beginning to soften a little bit, he wants to be able to crunch up really and maybe shorten the stance a little bit. And he's probably got a little bit closer to the ball than he really intended to.
All right. First down, 5 for Baltimore. 23-yard line of Cleveland. Curtis Dickey. Will he get the 5? He does. First down. Will he hold on to the football? It's slick. Yes, he does. Lyle Alzado, 77, makes the tackle, and Dickey gets 8 more for the Baltimore Colts. And let's see where they mark that football. I believe they're going to mark it on the 14-yard line, or that'll be as close as we can make it, as the yard markers have pretty well vanished now because of the rain. It'll be a first down.
Okay, Merrill, we talked about momentum before the half. We see that Baltimore Colts are moving in to score. They've been able to move the ball from the other end of the field. If they can score here, it will certainly turn the momentum around. And I think we'll see quite a difference in the Baltimore Colts if they can score.
The pitch to Dickey. Dickey turns on the speed, and only an arm-saving tackle by number 27, Tom Darden, kept him from going all the way in. A 9-yard pickup. 72 yards on 10 carries now for Curtis Dickey. And Burt Jones staying with a running weapon. This freshman from Texas A&M.
Well, Burt Jones has got to change up the game a little bit. Curtis Dickey is the threat, able to take the ball all the way. He takes a wide run here to get it inside the linebacker, and it just kept from going into the score. And we're going to see probably some more of that because Burt Jones is not going to throw the ball. I think the passing game is going to be cut down here a little bit.
See, we shorted Curtis 2 yards. He's got 71. Joe Washington now in the backfield. Cleveland Franklin going for the first down on a 2nd down and 2. He'll be closer. He may have it. Clay Matthews, 57, stacked up to play. And he got some help from Lyle Alzado, number 77. Okay, we've got a final score. The Bears have beaten the Washington Redskins by a score of 35-21. Walter Payton had a 51-yard touchdown run in that game. On the 3, let's see where they mark the ball, and it's a little bit difficult now as Burt Jones comes to the sideline. Let's see, I believe it's going to be at the 5. They're going to bring the sticks in to take a look and see if they got that first down. They had 2 yards to go. Any part of the ball will do it. Ooh. Come on. That's pretty close. 1 inch for the first down. And the Colt offensive unit, Marvin Sims, 39, a 6'4", 237-pound fullback, a rookie out of Clemson, is on. It's 3rd down, and you saw Cal Lepore say 1 inch to go for the first down. The crowd will tell you if the Colts make it or not. Dickey, a touchdown. Curtis Dickey. Dick Ambrose had a shot at him, a 5-yard touchdown run for Curtis Dickey, and the Baltimore Colts. Fans come to life here in Baltimore as the Colts have made it 21-12, but they've got the 12. So Burt Jones directs the drive that takes Baltimore into the Cleveland end zone, and the Colts are back in business.
Well, they certainly are back in business. Burt Jones, this was a great drive. Starting on the own 16, ended up with this run by Curtis Dickey, who takes it in on a wide running play. Get inside the linebacker again, and he just shows his speed by being able to outflank the defensive end and also his speed to cut it up the field.
And the kick is good by Mickemeyer. So we've got 3 minutes, 17 seconds left to play here in the 3rd quarter in Baltimore. It's the Browns 21, Baltimore 13.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Trouble spots like these are what separate Gillette Atra from all ordinary razors. The reason? The Atra Pivot. It keeps the blades at a perfect shaving angle, giving you a better shave than any razor that can't pivot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many more reasons do you need? Gillette Atra, the pivot makes it better.
Gillette, when it comes to shaving, we give you the edge.
Hi, honey.
Hey, where are the kids?
Spending the night at Mother's.
We're alone?
Open up and taste the moment. This time, the best is just what you deserve.
It's time for Erlanger. One look, one sip, one taste will tell you this beer is a classic.
When you want to fill your life up to the very brim.
Here's to my mother-in-law.
Come and taste the moment, Erlanger.
Later today, NFL action continues with exciting regional matchups featuring Denver's Orange Crush versus San Diego's Flying Circus, the Dolphins against Vince Ferragamo and the Rams, and the Chiefs square off against the Seahawks. Check local listings for the game in your area.
Curtis Dickey scoring the touchdown for Baltimore, and Burt Jones with the jacket on, directing the drive, using the run, mixing his plays well as Mickemeyer kicks off, and Dino Hall will bring it back for the Cleveland Browns. Hall trying to go to the outside. Look at this little guy turn it on. And a tremendous return by Dino as he is knocked out of bounds out across the 40-yard line, and they'll mark it out around the 42. Nesby Glasgow got him out of bounds after a 36-yard return.
You see, he starts up the field, but then he breaks it completely to the outside, going the other direction, using his speed to get outside. And it's a wonder that he really didn't get away. I think the kicker, Steve Mickemeyer, was over there to make the tackle.
Big score for the Cleveland Browns. Pittsburgh defeated Tampa Bay today 24-21. Our colleagues Dick Enberg and Merlin Olsen saw a good one. The Browns play the Steelers next week. And of course, many of you will see that game on NBC. Dino Hall, exciting player at 5'7". Mike Pruitt and Greg Pruitt in the backfield for the Browns. First down on the 41. Sight not wasting any time. Ozzie Newsome out there. But it is incomplete as Larry Brazil was out of bounds when he caught that football. Boy, you got to admire Brian Sipe and Sam Retigliano. If you like offense and the Browns live with the offense, they control the ball with a pass. Here they go, and right up into the air on the first play after that Baltimore touchdown.
Well, they can't sit in their lead here, Merrill. Baltimore Colts are starting to make a move here, as indicated by this interception. But what happens, the ball starts to hang a little bit more. The air is heavier, it's wet, it's been raining. It gives the defensive back to get a chance to come over, get in front of the receiver, and catch that ball.
All right, the Baltimore defense has been tested all day. They've been controlled pretty well in the pits by that offensive line of Cleveland. Let's see what happens now. 2nd and 10. And the draw going to Mike Pruitt. Pruitt breaks right through the middle across the midfield stripe. He's down about the 47-yard line for a 12-yard gain. And Mike Woods, the linebacker, number 59, comes up to make the tackle. Sanders Shiver, 54, to help out. And Carl, again, much credit's got to go to that offensive line of Cleveland. They come right back to the running play. Up front, you've got Jackson and De Leon and Delamalu are doing a tremendous job of opening holes up in the middle.
Well, they got tremendous guys back there. They know to carry that ball. When you got a guy in the backfield like Mike Pruitt, you want to do everything you can for him. Also with Brian Sipe, you want to protect Brian Sipe there, keep the rushes off him, and you know those are the guys who are going to win for you.
Mike Pruitt again, getting what he can, and what he gets is about 4. Herb Orvis, 88. The right tackle, Ed Simonini, 56, the middle linebacker, on the stop on Mike Pruitt. You know, when Pruitt first came into the league with the Browns, they talked about Pruitt having, well, fumbleitis. Now, that's a tag that a lot of Browns are going to resent. And yet, Mike Pruitt, and to his credit, did hand exercises with a rubber ball to strengthen his hands, strengthen the forearms, get a hold of that football and hold on to it. And he has done quite a job this year. 2nd down, 6. Little play action. That's Greg Pruitt. Pruitt going for the yard marker, but he didn't quite make it. Chased out of bounds by Barry Krause, 55. Now playing the outside linebacker spot, the second-year man from Alabama. Krause had started 4 ball games when Mike Woods, the regular, was hurt, and did quite well. The gain of 9 by Greg Pruitt, 3rd down 1. Cleo Miller, number 30, is now in the backfield at fullback. for Cleveland. Willis Adams, number 80, is coming as a wide receiver. Third and short. Two big backs in there. Mike Pruitt on the cut. First down. He keeps going. He's down near the 30-yard line. And Mike Ozdowski, number 71, has to make the tackle. And I believe that takes Mike over the 100-yard mark in rushing today. That was his 16th carry. And he has 101 yards.
Well, you talk about Mike Pruitt and working on his hands. He's also improved on his pass catching. We haven't seen him catch a ball today, but he's turned into a good pass receiver also, Merle.
That's what's called it, working at his trade. 3 100-yard rushing days now for Mike Pruitt this season. Sipe going for all of it. He's got a man. That's Rucker, but he overshoots it. It's out of bounds anyway, out of the end zone. Derek Hatchett, number 42, had the coverage. Sipe is a little angry at himself. He's, hey, what I do wrong?
He hasn't done very much wrong today.
He certainly hasn't. The Browns are leading by a score of 21-13. 40 seconds left to go in the third quarter. The Browns have led all the way, scoring twice in the first period. Charles White, a 5-yard touchdown run. Dave Logan, a 39-yard pass reception. Burt Jones came back to hit Reese McCall with a 23-yard bomb to make it 14-6. Charles White scored again before the half, 21-6 at halftime. And Dickey, a 5-yard run by Baltimore in this quarter, took 21-13. Sipe with some time, throws over the middle, completes that pass at about the 26-yard line. Mike Woods, a linebacker, on Mike Pruitt, and there's his pass reception for the afternoon.
I'll tell you, Merrill, the pressure now is on the defense of Baltimore, coach, and it really is on the defensive line. They've got to get the pressure on Brian Sipe so that he can't have the time to complete even the short ones. They're exercising ball control here, moving the ball down the field, eating up the clock. Burt Jones needs the ball back. The Colts have to get the ball back. We need a big play here, a turnover, or something like that. And I'm sure that's what they're talking about. And we'll see what they do here as we go into the fourth quarter.
And so that reception by Pruitt of 5 yards will make a 3rd down and 5 coming up for Cleveland when they take over in the fourth quarter. And we'll be right back after this message from your local stations.
The perfect conspiracy until 2 investigative reporters blow the cover on all the president's men.
Don't you understand what you're on to? Mitchell knew? Of course, Mitchell knew.
Robert Redford, Dustin Hoffman in the Academy Award-winning box office smash, the real-life detective thriller on television for the first time, Sunday.
Save money working on your car?
Yep.
Get your parts at Car Parts?
One place as good as another.
No, Benny's Car Parts Outlet gives you a car life warranty on most tough quality parts for as long as you own your car.
That could be quite a while.
Low prices, too. Like mufflers as low as $17.77. Water pumps as low as $9.88. When you buy it from Benny, you buy it for good.
Car, with Benny's help, you and I are going to be friends for a long time.
It's a lonely kind of job, riding fences, but it's a job that's gotta be done. So you get it done right. And then you head for the mountains. Head for the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Brewed the natural way, so it's always as smooth as its name. Head for Busch beer. Head for the mountains. Head for...
Thanks for giving your fair share.
Mike McCormick's Baltimore Colts won the first game, lost the next 2. Won 3, lost 2. Won last week. They've been in and out. The Browns started with 2 losses, won a couple, lost another one, and now have won 4 in a row and are trying to make it 5 in a row and stay even with the Houston Oilers in the AFC Central as we open the fourth quarter. And the Browns have a 21-13 lead. It is 3rd down, 5 in the 25. Sipe dumps it off to Greg Pruitt. Pruitt's got the first down. And more to spare. Sander Shiver, 54, the linebacker, and Bruce Laird, the strong safety, number 40, make the tackle. A gain of 11 yards, plenty for the first down. Now we just have to find where the ball is going to be spotted. There are no yard markers left. How about this? The New York Giants, with 10 seconds left to play, have a 3-point lead over the Dallas Cowboys, who had come from way back. But Joe Danilo just kicked a 27-yard field goal with 1 minute 7 seconds left to put the Giants into a 3-point lead over the Dallas Cowboys. Charles White is in there. First down on the 14-yard line. That's where the ball is spotted. Rucker in motion to the left. This is Charles White, dumped after getting a couple of yards. Derek Hatchett, the left cornerback, came up and made a submarine-type tackle. And coming up hobbling a bit is Herb Orvis, number 88. So Brian Sipe, who has guided the Browns to a ball control type game this afternoon. He has controlled the game in the air and then on the ground too. He has mixed his plays very, very well. 21 out of 28 in the air. Second down, 8 on the 12. Sipe 20 out of 27, 189 yards. Greg Pruitt hits for the corner. He's inside the flag, a touchdown. Greg Pruitt scoring for the Cleveland Browns. Before we can play more than 1.5 minutes here in the fourth quarter, a 12-yard touchdown pass to Greg Pruitt. And the Browns move up by a score of 27-13. So Sipe has hit 2 touchdown passes today. Charles White has scored a couple on the runs.
You talk about ball control. This is some of the reasons why. He's able to throw the ball off to his running back, Greg Pruitt here, who just walks down the line, does a little tap dancing here, takes it in the end zone, scores, and Cleveland's up by another touchdown.
Now the extra point try by Cockcroft. And Don is right through the middle of the uprights. So Don came into the game. He'd only missed 4 all year. And now Cleveland has moved up front by 28-13. And we've got 13 minutes, 22 seconds left in the game.
Ram Tough Dodge pickup. New design for 1981. Built tougher than ever. With better mileage, new impact grille, square-shouldered, brawny stance, galvanized steel in critical areas, twice as much as last year. More than Ford or Chevy. New EPA estimates. Best gasoline mileage with automatic transmission. More than Ford or Chevy. New Dodge pickups go beyond tough.
Dodge trucks are Ram tough.
Outward bound, Rota, Spain. See your local recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
The Browns now lead the Colts by a score of 28-13. Answering quickly the challenge offered by the Baltimore Colts in the third quarter as Dickey scored to make it 21-13. And now the Browns have come right back to lead by 2. 59 yards, 10 plays, 12-yard touchdown pass to Greg Pruitt. Brian Sipe has no favorites there. He uses everybody in his receiving pattern as Cockcroft kicks it off high and the ball's not going anywhere. It is fielded way up short by number 26, Kim Anderson. And Anderson is brought down in a hurry as Cockcroft, he said, hey, I don't know what happened there, Coach, but something happened.
Well, they can tell they didn't get that much of a return.
NBC
Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Well, we're talking about, as we look at the Baltimore offensive huddle, talking about Sipe. He's used over the year Newsom, Pruitt, Logan, Rucker, Hill, Pruitt, White, everybody. Now, Burt Jones. He's a quarterback that uses everybody also. First down to the 29-yard line of Baltimore. Jones with some time, and he hits Ray Butler, at the 45-yard line. Bill Cowher, 53, the second-year linebacker from North Carolina State, makes the tackle after a 16-yard pickup. Ray Butler on the receiving end. Clock ticking away, 12 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the game. A lot of time, though. It is a 28-13, 15-point lead for the Cleveland Browns, so Baltimore needs 3 scores to pull this one out. Jones, here incomplete. Roger Carr, the intended receiver, and Clarence Scott, the safety, was coming from the opposite side after him. But fortunately for Jones, he was on a roll to the left. And Scott had to chase him all the way across the field.
Yes, he did. He was lucky. If he'd gone the other way, I think Scott would have had it.
Clock is stopped, 12 and a half minutes to go. Coming up next will be Cincinnati and Oakland. Those Bengals can really be tough. The Oakland Raiders have been, well, they've been a turnaround team this year. Jim Plunkett has brought that ball club a long way since Pastorini has been hurt. They're right up there with the San Diego Chargers in the West. Curtis Dickey. A little bit more. Gets across the midfield stripe to the 48-yard line of the Browns. He's short of a first down by about 3. Tom Darden, 27, the free safety, and Ray Bolton, the strong cornerback, making the tackle, and Lyle Alzado getting a piece of him. It's now third down at the 49-yard line where they placed the ball.
Curtis Dickey, he's got the speed. He's a sprinter, but you don't see this type of running by a normal sprinter coming into the professional football league. Here he breaks and just keeps his legs moving. His drive gets some extra yards there. That's the type of effort they need now. Baltimore's going to stay in this game and be able to overcome this Cleveland Brown lead.
Third down 4 for the Baltimore Colts. Incomplete, a bit underthrown. Don McCauley coming out of the backfield, covered by Clay Matthews, number 57. It'll be fourth down and 4 for the Baltimore Colts. And the punting unit is coming on as Burt Jones comes to the sideline and Mike Bragg and his pals take over. 35.8 average for 5 punts today. Dino Hall is going back deep for the Cleveland Browns as Bragg, who was cut for the Washington Redskins, has done a good job. He's ready to punt it away now to Dino.
Have to watch out for that Dino Hall. He's got great speed there.
Bragg kicking it away from him to the sideline and kicks it out of bounds inside the 15 at about the 18-yard line. So Bragg has been tough inside the 20 this year. 11:30 to go with a timeout in Baltimore, and it's a 28-13 Cleveland lead. We'll be right back.
All over America, do-it-yourselfers are becoming Stanley super doers. They're doing bigger things, and they're doing them better and better. They depend on Stanley tools for measuring things right, for shaping things right, for making joints fit right. Tools that work right are made by Stanley, the do-it-yourself company.
Stanley, we want to help you do things right.
For a super deal on the NFL Thermos jug and mugs, look for specially tagged Stanley tools.
I used to run through airports. Now I fly through them. With new Hertz #1 Express service, I fly non-stop from my plane to my car without stopping at the counter. If you ask for #1 Express when you make your reservation, your Ford or other fine car and contract will be waiting at the #1 Express booth. Once again, Hertz puts you in the driver's seat faster than anybody else.
I'll tell you, there's more to punting than meets the eye, but not the camera's eye. As you can see, Chris Foots here lines up the punter. He's trying to get him in line so he can get a direct snap there. And Mike Bragg gets a good kick inside the 20. And Cleveland has the ball now on their own about 16-yard line, or 13-yard line.
Bragg's kick of 36 yards puts Cleveland in a bit of a hole. Let's see if the Baltimore defense can come up with a big play as Brian Sipe, who has been in control all day, sends Charles White into the tailback spot of the eye, and this is White. White at the 20, and is dropped there by 71 Mike Ozdowski, the defensive right end, along with Derek Hatchett, number 42. So the gain about 7, second down 3. Cleo Miller, number 30, is now in the ball game. Charles White has carried 12 times for 60 yards today, the former Heisman Trophy winner from USC. Miller and White in the backfield. Charles White on the sweep, makes his cut. And the former Trojan is out across the 30 to around the 32 for the first down. Herb Orvis, number 88, making the tackle on Charles White, who is 5'10", 183 pounds. There were some who questioned whether he was really big enough to play this game in the NFL. He gained 11. I don't think there's any doubt about Charles White being able to play here.
Well, no doubt at all. But I'll tell you, he's following the tradition of such other great Heisman Trophy winners. O.J. Simpson and these guys, they build up a tradition, Merle, and they take pride in being a Heisman Trophy winner. And he's certainly going to establish himself. His credentials certainly speak for themselves, and he's showing himself today.
De Leon over the ball. Sight makes the call. Cleo Miller breaking a tackle. Busting his way out to the 40, to the 41. Near a first down. Mike Woods, 59. And Reggie Pinckney, who's known as a strong safety, number 37, make the tackle. Here's the final. The Giants did it on a Joe Dinella field goal of 27 yards with 1 minute 7 seconds left to play. The Giants, 1-8, pull a mighty, mighty upset over the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, Simonini, you see him fights off the block here. Works real hard. The footing was set is a little bad. He slips a little bit there and is able to misses a tackle. And you can't help that when you got bad footing. You work hard. What are you going to do?
The Browns missed the first down by less than a yard. We have 9 minutes and 50 seconds to play here in Baltimore. The Browns have led all the way. Sam Rutigliano's crew going for its 7th win of the year, and if they get it, they'll be right where they were a year ago after 10 games, 7-3. Greg Pruitt, number 34, is coming to the backfield now. Reggie Rucker breaking out as a wide receiver right. Ozzie Newsome, 82, will be the tight end set right. Dave Logan splits out to the left. Miller and Greg Pruitt in the eye. Newsome move, flag goes down. Miller's going to lose this big gainer, but let's see who gets the football. The play is still alive, and the Baltimore Colts no doubt will take the football. The penalty would have been on the Cleveland Browns as Newsome moved too soon. Cleo Miller had a big, big gainer of more than 20 yards. Hatchett falls on the football, and if that's the way the play stands, and it will, the penalty is declined by the Baltimore Colts. Newsome had made his move.
Okay, I'll tell you what happens. You'd think that might be a pass play, but what happens, he probably had to get a block on the middle linebacker and get across the field, so he's attempting to get an early start, and I'm sure that's what caused him to jump.
Now let's pause as we are going to have a timeout here with 9 minutes and 14 seconds left to play. Cleveland leading 28-13. We'll be right back.
You know, I love the fresh, clean smell of barley because I can almost taste the Schlitz beer I'm going to make from it. I'm Frank Selinger. Recently, I came to Schlitz as chief executive. Mostly, I check on the business end. But after 40 years as a master brewer, I check the barley too, and the other fine grains to make a really smooth beer. Taste my Schlitz.
This 6-hour VHS home video recorder is called RegiVision.
Oh, that's Panasonic Omnivision.
And RegiVision has RegiFlex.
That's Omniflex, Reggie. It plays in slow motion, high speed, or freeze-free.
RegiVision also has RegiSearch.
That's OmniSearch. It makes it easy to find the scene you want.
So get RegiVision with RegiFlex and RegiSearch.
That's Omnivision with Omniflex and OmniSearch.
From Panasonic.
Right.
She was a champion skater. Then she went blind. But a special person wouldn't let her dream die.
Can't you do it without the TV cameras?
Ice Castles, Monday.
Bob Costas and Gene Washington are standing by in Oakland to bring you the Cincinnati-Oakland game, which will follow this one. And Cincinnati leading Oakland 3-0 in the first period. We'll be switching to the coast right after this game is over. First down to the 31. 10 yards to go for the Baltimore Colts. Burt Jones throws the screen. Curtis Dickey at the 40. And Curtis brought down at about the 42. Clay Matthews, 57, made the tackle after a 13-yard pickup by Curtis Dickey, and it's a first down.
All right, now you'll see a team do this when, especially when they think they got the defensive line putting on a good rush. Let them throw the ball off to Curtis Dickey, who's got the ability to break the ball and to go for a touchdown open field.
The Colts with 8:35 left to go. That's what Jones has done today. 192 yards in the air. Look out. Alzado almost had him screened to the other side. Cleveland Franklin, the fullback, trying to bust loose at the 45, but he is knocked down to the 46-yard line. So Jones screening left, screening right. Bill Cowher 53 and Charlie Hall 59. The linebackers made the tackle.
Well, you're going to see them mix it up a lot here, Merle, because they're behind. The Browns know they got to throw, and they're going to put on the rush. So that's what I say. They're letting the linemen through, throwing those screen passes, and they got good receivers once they get out there and they can break the ball. Break it for a long gain.
Colts are catching up in the first downs, but not on the scoreboard. After a gain of 4, second down 6. Curtis Dickey. After a 1-yard gain, possibly 2, Clarence Hall 59 brought him down. Cleveland ahead by 28-13. And it's a third down coming up for the Baltimore Colts and 5 yards to go, and 5 defensive backs are on the field as Mike McCormick, the head coach of the Colts, knowing now that he has got to beat that clock. Paul McDonald doing a little throwing on the sideline, the Cleveland backup quarterback out of USC. Third down 5. Let's see what the Cleveland Browns do on this. They're bringing everybody. Indeed they are, but Jones gets it away incomplete. Intended for Joe Washington coming out of the backfield. The Browns sent everybody but their bus driver.
Yes, they did. It was a bit. That ball could have been a little. Normally they keep a dry ball. I don't think that ball was well thrown. He didn't have a lot of time, but the receiver was open, and Bert Jones does not get a good throw there. He's arguing at the official. He's probably telling them right now about keeping the ball dry.
So it's 4th down for the Baltimore Colts. 4th down and 5. Ball is resting on the 47-yard line. Mike Bragg has kicked 6 times today. Dino Hall is deep for the Browns. Mike Bragg kicked one out inside the 20 on his last putt, drives this one downfield, and Dino Hall calling for the fair catch, taking it at the 19-yard line of the Browns, and that's where Brian Sipe, that his offensive unit, will take over. A 33-yard punt, no return, 6:52 to go in the game, and the Browns lead it 28-13.
Just in time for Christmas. Save $10 each on 2 favorite Radio Shack electronic games. 2-player football or 2-player baseball. Both cut to $29.95 each. Computerized action games with separate controls for each player. Lighted scoreboard with built-in sound. Challenge a friend or play against the computer. Pitch a no-hitter. Score a touchdown. Be a winner and pocket the savings. Sale price 2-player electronic games. Only at Radio Shack, your Christmas electronic store.
America's not going to be pushed around anymore.
Dodge announces an historic breakthrough. The new Omni Miser with the highest highway mileage any American car has ever achieved. Now there's a real challenge to the imports. Omni Miser with its advanced electronic fuel control. Miser squeezes out more mileage than Toyota Corona, more than Honda Accord, more than VW Rabbit, more than the world car, 4-door Ford Escort, and at a lower price, only $52.99. Omni Miser at your Dodge Ram dealer. The American way to beat the pump.
On NBC Sports World Invitational Track and Field from China, the intensity and incredible strength of women's powerlifting, and the legends of bowling, next Saturday.
The Cleveland Browns over the Baltimore Colts by 28-13. There's the time remaining. I'm Merle Harmon with Carl Eller, and the Baltimore Colts have never led in this ballgame. Cleveland took the opening kickoff, marched for a touchdown, then scored another, led at the quarter 14-0. At the half, 21-6. They lead now 28-13. Brian Sipe going to Charles White, and White might have been hit behind the line. Mike Ozdowski, 71, and Fred Cook, 72. The defensive ends came in to make the hit.
Well, Charles White's got the great speed there, but I think the Colts, I think they know they have to come up with a big play here. I think Charles White was probably angry at the fact that the hole wasn't there, and he tried to take another direction or run to daylight, as they say, and there was just nowhere to go.
He lost a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11. 48,304 tickets sold, 2,935 no-shows today in Baltimore. Uh-oh, something went wrong there. Both running backs were looking for the handoff. Mike Pruitt got it. And Mike Woods made the tackle. I believe Mike Pruitt picked up the yard they lost on the previous play, and Brian Sipe is informing his backs as to which one was to take it.
Well, I see Simonini there, getting in there, but they're plugging the hole. They can't let the Browns get a first down here because the Colts need the ball back. And I'm sure that the defensive line is aware of this. They're trying to put on the pressure, and they're going to stop these guys.
3rd down 10. Logan wide to the left, Rucker to the right for the Browns, who have led all the way today. The blitz, safety blitz by Bruce Laird, and he makes the tackle, and that is the 2nd time that Sipe has gone down today, and they will mark the ball around the 10-yard line. Bruce Laird coming from the strong safety spot. Watch it.
This is just what we're talking about. You can't rely on your offense to do everything. The defense has to come up with a big play. This is certainly a big play, and Bruce Laird's the one that makes it.
A 9-yard loss. It is 4th down 19, and the Browns need a big punt out of the end zone from Johnny Evans. Kim Anderson back in a single safety for Baltimore.
I think they'll try for a blocker. Come up with another big play.
Ball is kicked high, but not far. And the Baltimore Colts are going to wind up with great field position on the 38-yard line. So Johnny Evans got only 29 yards on that punt. And the Colts will take over. 5:04 left to play, and they trail by 15.
Introducing the revolutionary twin action shaving system engineered to outperform twin blades. The new Norelco Rotattract razor. Inside 3 floating heads, Rotattract works like twin blades to grip hair. Raise it up, then razor it off, hundreds of times a second for a shave that's twin blade close without a nick or cut. The new twin action Norelco Rotattract razor, cord and rechargeable. Twin blade closeness, but no gotcha.
I told my Allstate agent I can't afford life insurance. Well, John, don't put marbles in the penny wrappers. He told us about one of Allstate's affordable life plans. For a 28-year-old, $50,000 of decreasing term insurance for about $11 a month. These pennies could pay for a couple of months. Well, John...
Well, you put your pennies in my marble jar.
Ask about Allstate Life's affordable life plans. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Mike McCormick, in his first year as the head coach of the Baltimore Colts, has seen his team as an in-and-out team this year. They were 5-4 for the year going into this game, trailing New England by 2 and Buffalo by 1. Burt Jones, first down, 10 on the 38. Draw. And it is Cleveland Franklin popping his way for about 6, brought down by Lyle Alzado, number 77. It'll be 2nd down 4, and Carl, Baltimore doesn't have that kind of time on the clock for a running game.
Well, they're trying to mix it up a little bit still here, Merle. They know that the Cleveland Browns are going to rush the pass, and because they are so far behind, a draw play is a good call here, although it does eat up the clock.
2nd down 4 on the 32. Jones zips the ball, but underthrows it to Joe Washington. Jones is now 16 out of 28 for 195 yards. His counterpart, Brian Sipe, 22 of 29, 212 yards. Sipe now has 19 touchdown passes for the year, having thrown for a pair today. Mike Pruitt has rushed for 104 yards to lead the Browns. Nickemeyer staying loose. They can't afford to miss anything, not even an extra point. If Baltimore can take it in. 3rd down, 4. He really drills the receiver this time as Burt Jones hits Don McCauley for a first down, and Clay Matthews is right there to cover McCauley. Clay Matthews from USC, kind of a Jack Ham type linebacker, but I don't think Clay Matthews particularly likes that tag. He said, hey, I'm a Clay Matthews type
He's
linebacker.
a Clay Matthews, and that's for sure. He's an outstanding linebacker. They're missing one linebacker out there, and that's R.L. Jackson. But you talk about linebackers, Cleveland Browns certainly have a fine core of them.
Burt Jones on a first down. Now now being pursued. Runs right into Alzado. And that's the 5th time the Browns have sacked Burt Jones this afternoon.
That's what you call out of the frying pan into the fire.
So the loss takes that ball back to the 38-yard line.
What you see is that Burt Jones sees the pressure coming from the other side. Lyle Alzado is coming from the other side, from his right defensive end spot. And he's right there as Burt Jones makes his cut and he gets another sack. And they have sacked Burt Jones 5 times today.
And 2 weeks ago, Jones was sacked 12 times. That's Alzado. Jones drilling it. There is Butler. Butler at the 15, trying to break tackles and gets back to the 15-yard line. And that should be good for a first down. Tom Darden, number 27, makes the tackle. A 22-yard pickup and a first down for the Colts. 3 minutes left to play in this game. The ball of the 15 of the Cleveland Browns.
Well, what you have here is you see and Archie Beeman is into the game now at strong safety, an old teammate of mine back at Seattle. He's a good strong safety. But we got Jones throwing the ball well, and he's got to get some points on the board.
Burt right over the middle to Reese McCall. Just stood up and threw it over a little slant down to the 7-yard line. Tom Darden, 27, there on the tackle. A gain of about 6, possibly 7, depending on where they mark the ball. It'll be a gain of 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
2nd and 2.
Time remaining, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. The Colts trail 28-13. Jones swings it out to Cleveland Franklin, and Franklin goes nowhere.
Pass complete to Sims.
Or make that Marvin Sims, I beg your pardon, number 39. Ron Bolton, 28, had the tackle on Marvin Sims. It is 3rd down, 2. And we have 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in the ball game. Sam Rutigliano on the sideline, I'm sure rather confident that his team can hold this big lead. We've got a timeout, and Cleveland's lead is 28-13, and we'll return in a moment.
Open up and taste the moment. This time the best is just what you deserve. When you want to fill your life up to the very brim, come and taste the moment.
One look, one sip, one taste will tell you this beer is a classic.
It's raining, Ollie.
I can see that.
The wipers sure are making a mess.
Well, why don't you do something to help me? Oh!
Once a year, it makes sense to get yourself a new set of Anco wiper blades. It's simple, quick, and an inexpensive way to see your way clear again.
But that's much better, Ollie.
Why, thank you, Stanley.
Cleveland Franklin is getting a tape job on the right foot, but it's over the shoe, so I presume he's okay.
Oh, he's okay. He's probably getting a little bit of extra support there. And then the ground makes it a little tough to cut and all that stuff. So you want to keep those ankles real firm.
3rd and 2 for a first down. 3rd and 7 for a touchdown. Jones for 231 yards today. McCall and Alston are in at tight end. Curtis Dickey, he's inside the 5. A first down and goal coming up as Don Good, number 50, makes the tackle. He's in at a linebacker spot. The ball near the 3-yard line. It is first down and goal with 2 minutes to go in the game.
2 minutes left.
And we've got the timeout for the 2-minute warning. So the Cleveland Browns leading by a comfortable 15 points. All they got to do now is just hold on to that 15-point lead, and that should be easy for them to do. We'll be right back.
America's not going to be pushed around anymore.
New front-wheel drive Dodge Aries K challenges BMW to a test of handling on a slippery track covered with oil and water. BMW says it's the ultimate driving machine, but in 14 out of 16 tries, it spins out. Aries, same speed, same test driver, outhandles BMW every time. Aries, America's highest mileage 6-passenger car. At your Dodge Ram dealer, the American way to beat the pump.
Aries coupe prices start at $58.80.
Some folks just can't figure out Campbell's chunky sirloin burger. On the one hand, it's soup, so the feller can eat it with a spoon. On the other hand, it's got all these tasty little burgers made of real sirloin that a feller can eat with a fork. So is it a soup or is it a meal? Heck, that's easy. Chunky's the soup that eats like a meal.
Chunky sirloin burger with real sirloin. It's the soup that eats like a meal.
2 minutes to play. Cleveland leading 28-13. Mentioned a moment ago, all they got to do now is hold the lead. It takes 3 scores for Baltimore to win this game. McCauley, 23, Washington, 20 of the setbacks. First and goal. And that's McCauley, dragged down to the 2 by Dick Ambrose, number 52, the linebacker from Virginia. It'll be second down and goal to go. Clock running with 1:46 left. The Cleveland Browns will go 7-3 for the year. They'll pick up a half game on the Houston Oilers, who are idle today but will play tomorrow. And of course, now the pressure will be applied to Houston. Second and goal. Jones has got a man in the end zone. Reese McCall. So the big guy from Auburn gets the touchdown, but in this case, a little too late.
Well, Merrill, I'll tell you, they still have time here. They're 2 scores behind still, but that third score could be a second score in this case now that just scored. Could be a field goal. Reese McCall, this is his second touchdown for the day. And I'll tell you, he was just wide open there, but they're still not out of the game here. If Burt Jones, if the defense can come back before Burt Jones gets another chance, if they can get the ball, Burt Jones may have an opportunity to come back and put them on the board again. And if they can have an onside kick or something like that, they could possibly win this game.
Mickemeyer for the extra point. It's right through there. And if they do that, we're going to have the most exciting finish of all time. And who knows? I did the Heidi game way back when, so I remember that, baby.
Well, it's going to be an exciting game here, I think, because I'm certain that the Baltimore Colts are not willing to give up. That Burt Jones is a real competitor, and they want to win this game. They don't want to fall another one behind in their division.
And so it's an 8-point lead for the Cleveland Browns. And I think everybody in this ballpark that's left, some 48,000, were here to start the game, and probably half that now here as the rain in the second half drove a lot of the Baltimore Colt fans to drier places. But the Cleveland Browns have an 8-point lead. They've got to work 1:27 off that clock. And coming up next, Cincinnati against Oakland. And Mark Van Egan has just scored on a 2-yard run for the Oakland Raiders to put the Raiders ahead 7-3 with 12 minutes and 21 seconds left to play in the half. So we'll be going right to Oakland when this game is over, and you'll see the conclusion of that game, which should be a dandy. All right, it'll be Mickemeyer to kick off. Dino Hall will be deep for the Cleveland Browns. But everybody's looking for the onside kick, and there it is. Can they cover it?
They may have the ball. No, they don't.
Cleveland recovers it. So the Browns.
But just to emphasize what I was saying a moment ago, Merle, had they been successful there, they could have gotten a quick score. Burt Jones scored his first touchdown in 3 plays, which only took less than a minute. And the field goal certainly within range. But now Cleveland has the ball, and all they have to do now is just to hold on to it.
Timeout. And it was Judson Flint, who just joined the Browns, just was activated, who fell on the football. The executive producer of NBC's NFL Football is Don Ohlmeyer. Coordinating producer, Ted Nathanson. The telecast of today's game has been produced by Peter Rolfe and directed by Lenny Stucker. Technical director, Horace Ruiz. And associate director, Sam Kirschman. And Flint is up and at him after recovering that onside kick. Apparently had the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, those onside kicks are dangerous plays. Everybody's going after the ball.
Well, your old team really rolled today, Carl. The Minnesota Vikings swamping Detroit. And the Colts will play the Lions next week. Billy Sims was shut out today so far.
Well, that was a big win for them. They're now going to tie for the division. Detroit's had a great season so far. But They come in there, and they tied for the lead. New quarterback's coming in the game now for the Cleveland Browns.
Paul McDonald, the former USC star, along with Charles White, who's his tailback right now. The ball at the 45-yard line. And Charles White breaking for 5 for 7. It'll be second down 3. The tackle made by Mike Ozdowski, number 71 for the Baltimore Colts. Boy, Billy Sims, what a start, but shut out today. 34-0, Minnesota over the Detroit Lions.
Well, the Vikings are coming off 2 big wins, one against Washington last week, and certainly this is the big one today.
Next Sunday, start your day off with NFL 80. Host Bryant Gumbel will bring you all the latest news, scores, and highlights and more. Then it's exciting doubleheader action as the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Cleveland Browns and the San Diego Chargers battle the Kansas City Chiefs, plus other regional games. That's all next Sunday here on NBC Sports. Check your listings for the games and the time in your area.
That's going to be a big game for Cleveland next week. If they come out here to win the day, which it seems like they're going to do with a minute 21 left, they can just about put Pittsburgh away next week. They'll be up a game and a half, certainly over them. And boy, that'll be some exciting things in Cleveland going on.
Paul McDonald is happy for 2 reasons. 1, the Browns lead. 2, he's in the game. The rookie from USC, 4th round draft choice. Pruitt are in the backfield. And Pruitt takes the handoff, bobbles the ball, and the Colts, I believe, picked it off in midair at the 40-yard line. Reggie Pinckney, 37, went after that ball, and he is the man who recovered it.
You notice that I covered myself there, which says it looks like they're going to win. They're pretty safe, but you never know what's going to happen in a football game. I'll tell you, anything can happen. This is a big play for them. The game, you have to keep your spirits alive, and you have to believe that you can win right down to the final gun. They come up with a big play here, and it may be too little too late, but certainly they're feeling good to be able to get another turnover here.
Hey, you're about to make a believer out of me, Carl.
I am trying to.
It's never over till it's over, huh?
Well, I haven't been in this broadcasting business too long, and I certainly have the feelings of the ball players there. When you're on the losing side, you don't want to look at even a minute 21 to go yet as being a loser.
And you've been there, so you know.
Yes, I do.
First down, 10, Jones. And he completes it to Joe Washington. Washington at midfield, down to the 45, down to the 40-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. With a minute and 2 seconds left to play. Baltimore is still with a timeout. And Harris makes the tackle. They will not take the timeout here. Jones right back in the air again. Completes it to Joe Washington on the 35. Now will they take it? 48 seconds left to play in this game.
They need it now.
And apparently they do take the timeout. Dick Ambrose made the tackle. 48 seconds remaining as the Baltimore Colts take the timeout. They've got the football at the 35-yard line. They trail by 8 points. Carl, quickly, do you remember a game that you played in with Minnesota? Well, they were all big when you were playing because the Vikings had that kind of team, where you did pull one out of the fire in a situation like
that? Oh, we've done it many times. In fact, that was one of the strong points of Bud Grant. He never panicked. You know him as a cool coach. But we've won games on kickoffs like an onside kick, getting the ball back, a fumble recover, or a sack, or interception. There are a number of things that can happen. These are the type of things that keep a team going. And if you're going to be a championship team, you certainly got to believe in yourselves and being able to pull the game out.
The Colts have taken their last timeout. The Browns have 2, but hoping that they don't need those. We have 48 seconds remaining in the game. The Browns have led all the way. They led in the first quarter by 14-0 on a 5-yard touchdown run by Charles White and a 39-yard pass from Brian Sipe to Dave Logan. Then in the second quarter, Burt Jones hit Reese McCall, 23-yard touchdown pass, made it 14-6. Charles White, a 5-yard touchdown run for Cleveland, 21-6 at the half. Now Jones, flag down. Jones completes it. And it is number 87, Brian DeRue, who makes the catch, and he is down at the 20-yard line. Bill Cowher, 53, Dick Ambrose, 52. The linebackers make the tackle. Let's see what the flag's about.
Okay, the thing here, Merle, is we'll listen when he gets ready to make the call, but the thing is you don't want to throw that ball over the middle, not with only one timeout, because you need the clock in your favor. And he's got to throw that ball to the outside or throw it to the end zone.
Face mask. And it's against Cleveland. Didn't get the number yet, but we will. In the third quarter, Dickey scored on a 5-yard touchdown run for Baltimore to make it 21-13. Here in the fourth quarter, Greg Pruitt, 12-yard touchdown pass 28-13, and then Baltimore came back with a touchdown. And Cal, what's the call? Cal Lepore, the referee.
First and 10 at the 13. Personal foul, face mask, defense. We tack it on the play. First down.
All right, it was tacked on to the play, but we still don't know who the guilty party was.
No, we don't know who the guilty party was, but this certainly helps them getting a penalty there. Otherwise, they would have not had the clock stopped, and they need that right now, Merle.
The ball on the 15-yard line of the Browns. A moment ago, a 15-point lead seemed to be very comfortable. Jones to the air. Jones drilling it to Roger Carr, his wide receiver on the 5-yard line, and I believe he's inside the 5, and they'll stop the clock, or will they? 26 seconds to go. They will not stop the clock for a measurement. And Jones again throwing. This time, touchdown. And it's Don McCauley out of the backfield with 19 seconds to play. So the Baltimore Colts indeed are putting an exciting finish into this game, with Burt Jones leading the Colts and bringing them back. It's now 28-26 with an extra point try to come.
Well, Merle, I'll tell you, I'm glad I kept you excited about the Baltimore Colts. Burt Jones, I have a lot of confidence in him as a quarterback. And you talk about games being won in the last seconds, and being here in Baltimore, of course, they remember the great years of Johnny Unitas. I've seen him win, and you remember those days, and he's won games, a number of games in the last few seconds.
Mickemeyer for the extra point, and now the Colts trail by 1.
And that can certainly be overcome by a score of 3 points, which can be done by field goal. I'm sure they're an onside kick here, which everybody will be looking for. But if they come out with it, well, who knows what will happen.
This is a tremendous comeback by the Baltimore Colts. And they trail by 1. And Mickemeyer talking to his head coach, Mike McCormick. We'll pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WKYC TV3, television home of the Browns.
Merle Harmon and Carl Eller with you in Baltimore, and a wild finish as it's turned out to be. Cleveland leading by 1. Leading 28-13 going into this quarter. Baltimore has scored twice. Now we go back to the extra point missed by Mickemeyer back in the second quarter. Is turning out to be possibly the key to this ballgame.
Well, Mickemeyer's the key right now. He can redeem himself if he gets a good onside kick and they're able to come up with the ball. And he'll come up with a pass or two, of course, to the outside so they can stop the clock. And Burt Jones will try to get the ball in the end zone with a play or two. And Mickemeyer, if they have 1 or 2 completions, will have an opportunity to go for the field goal.
All right, they try to kick it over the front line, and Darden. Oh, ball! Who's got it? The ball at the 35-yard line. Tom Darden took that little looping kick, and the Browns recover the football on the 35.
Well, I'll tell you, everybody has to be in this ball game. The Baltimore Colts had an opportunity there. You can't doubt that, Merle. And Mickemeyer could have redeemed himself. Here's the ball at about the 35-yard line. Certainly within a completion and a field goal range.
And Autry Beeman comes up with a recovery, and it is a big one.
That could be the biggest play of the game.
35-yard line, Cleveland Browns ball, 18 seconds left to play. And Paul McDonald is going to be the quarterback. No timeouts left. All he has to do is fall on the football. That just about should do it, because there are no timeouts left for the Baltimore Colts. Oh, but did they come close to having opportunity to win this football game on a field goal.
Let the word go forth that the torch has been passed to a new generation.